This is Morning Motivation for Educators on the B Podcast Network. Learn about all the shows at bpodcastnetwork.com. You'll hear from a variety of formal and informal educators who help put this podcast together. If you'd like to contribute your voice to the show, please go to morningmotivationedu.com to apply. Good morning, my friends. I am Candice Noss, a physical therapist, a wellness coach, a lifelong Christian, and a mother of 6. I created my business, the Mind, Body, Spirit Trifecta, where I liberate, enlighten, and empower others to elevate their mind, body, and spirit and own their divine greatness. It is Thankful Thursday, and today I am super grateful for the ability to process emotions. Friends, this is a game changer in the way that we operate our life and the peace that we are able to experience. Our human experience is meant to be a modge podge of many, many, many emotions. The whole gamut. We're meant to experience it all. Processing the emotions that come up and figuring out how we can choose to experience life on purpose, it is vital to a fulfilling and elevated life. Today, I am excited to share with you briefly some powerful techniques I use to process emotions. The fact is, emotions are powerful. Scientifically, emotions are simply vibrations in our body. If strong emotions are not processed, they can get stuck inside of us and create havoc on our mental, physical, and spiritual health. Emotions truly are an invisible force that powerfully impacts our life, positively or negatively, every single day. There is a book that really dives into this if you'd like to learn more. It's called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die by Carol Trueman. The truth remains, we must process emotions in order to release them and prevent them from hindering our health and our growth. The issue is, most of our generation were never taught how to process emotions. What we were taught, however, was how to sweep our big emotions under the rug. We have become expert at ignoring and stuffing our feelings down so that they won't get in the way. We are champions at buffering away from every uncomfortable emotion. We use things like food, alcohol, drugs, TV, social media, porn, and on and on and on in order to buffer away from those things that are uncomfortable. The problem with this is the emotions don't go away. These are counterfeit solutions. The emotions won't go away until we allow, acknowledge, and process them. In my coaching, I dive deep into processing emotions. It is one of the most powerful things I can teach. In my Body Love program, for example, I teach clients so much about emotional eating versus eating to fuel our bodies. And once we understand how to process our emotions, we no longer feel compelled to eat them. So, let's get into how you can successfully process your emotions. My standard, easiest go-to method for processing emotions is to follow a framework based on a catchy phrase. Name it to tame it, feel it to heal it. This is a super effective way to quickly process most of the everyday emotions that come up. Once you are aware that an emotion is present, the next step is to name it. What exactly are you feeling? Is it anger, irritation, boredom, overwhelm, stress? Once you identify the emotion that is coming up for you, it becomes so much easier to gain leverage over it or to tame it. Now you get curious about the emotion and really feel into what overwhelm or whatever the emotion is that you've identified. You really get into feeling what that feels like in your body. Pinpoint the location in your body where you feel this emotion. Give it a color, a texture, a density. Now remember, there's no right answer to this. You just get to decide. Feel it in your body. How does it move? What are the edges like? Witness and fully experience it in your body. When you do this, you allow it to release. What could you compare the emotion in your body to? Does it feel like a rock, a black hole, a weight? What physical symptoms arise with this emotion? Do your hands get sweaty? Do you notice your heart racing? Do you start to cry? Do you notice your jaw clenching? As you stay present with the emotion, completely allowing it, staying curious about what it's doing in your body, how it feels, it will start to dissipate. As it disintegrates, imagine every last vestige of this emotion being sucked out and leaving your body. Imagine bundling this emotion up and giving it over to your Savior. Ask God to take it for you. Lastly, fill up that space where the old emotion was with gratitude and light. The most powerful way to name it to tame it and feel it to heal it is to ask Christ to be with us during this process, to ask for his help in releasing and realigning. For emotions that are bigger and deeper than the day-to-day emotions I was talking about, I have a second way to process emotion. I call it processing through expression or creative release. In this method, the strong emotion is expressed in art, dance, music, or any form of expression that comes to you. For example, I had an experience a few years ago that hurt me deeply. My thoughts about everything that happened landed me in a river of deep, poignant emotion. My eyes were continually leaky. I couldn't even function in my daily life without tears streaming down my cheeks. I was struggling to fully process and work through these intense feelings inside. The strong emotions were shutting down my ability to function. Now, my old default tendency in a situation like this would have been to get mad at myself for being such a baby and then to brush the uncomfortable emotions under the rug. I would stuff it all down in order to put on a mask of, I'm fine, and then just ignore it altogether so that I could get on with my life. However, now that I truly understand how toxic this strategy is and how unhealthy unprocessed emotions are in our bodies, I decided to just keep sitting with all the different emotions as I attempted to process them. Once I realized that what I was going through was some big emotions, deeper, more traumatic than what would be normal with my name it, to tame it, to feel it, to heal it, I decided it was time to pull out the big guns. I decided to process the emotion through creative release. I grabbed a pen and I drew how I felt inside. I drew a picture of my heart and what it felt like and what was happening to my heart. I let the raw emotions come out onto the paper. And despite my juvenile artistic skills, drawing my emotion was incredibly, surprisingly cathartic. I added to the picture until I was satisfied that I had done justice to the emotions that I was feeling inside. My art became a witness to the depth of my feelings, and once out, I felt liberated. I truly had released so much of the pain and the hurt. Then I did another drawing of what I wanted my heart to feel like. This drawing felt beautiful and amazing, and it strengthened me. These two drawings served as powerful restoration and realignment. Where the first drawing felt like purging, the second drawing felt like healing. It was a beautiful experience, which I'm so thankful for. After I was able to draw these pictures of my heart, I no longer felt the need to cry. I was okay. I had processed the emotion, and although it was still difficult and it was still a hard instance that I went through, I was able to proceed with my life. Processing through expression is such a powerful and effective way to process emotion. So my challenge for you is to begin experimenting with processing your emotions. Use name it to tame it, feel it to heal it for the day-to-day regular things that come up. Promise yourself that if strong emotions come up for you, you will not ignore them or push them away. For those big, uncomfortable emotions, instead of going to a buffer to cope, consider trying a creative release or to process through expression. If you do this with Christ, peace and growth will prevail. May your holiday season be full of light and love. Thank you all for joining me today and for being part of my journey. I believe in you, and I'm truly thankful for you. And I can't wait for all the joy and peace that will come from processing your emotions. If you'd like more from me, grab my free video about taking your self-talk from crappy to happy. I would love for you to join my Thankful Thursday email, and I invite you to listen to and subscribe to my podcast called Designed for Greatness with Candice Noss. All links are in the show notes. And whatever role you have in education, we have a podcast for you at bpodcastnetwork.com. Who among your friends and colleagues needs to hear this message today? Please share it with them right now.